welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we have an amazing, delicious summer slaw for you. This is beet, apple, and carrot slaw. This recipe is actually not only vegetarian but vegan. It's absolutely delicious. It's an amazing summer recipe. A lot of great flavor, very nutritious, lots of fiber, nice and tart. And let's get going with our ingredients. So we're going to start with some carrot, some apple. We're going to use a beet. We're going to use the zest and the juice from a lemon, as well as some olive oil. So very, very simple recipe. As you can see, we have ourselves a food service carrot here. It's obviously enormous. So we're only using about half of it. For our root vegetables, we are going to cut the ends off. So that's the root end and the stem end as well. You do want to make sure everything's nice and clean, and then you want to peel it. You do want to clean it before you peel so that the peeler doesn't spread dirt onto the flesh of your root vegetables. There you go. That is the carrot peeled. For the beet, it's we're just going to go around and take it all off that way. You just want to get that first layer of skin off, basically. So there you go. Once you have your nicely cleaned carrot and beet, we are going to get this into slaw form. So we are actually going to pull out, once these are all done, we are going to pull out the mandolin. Now if you don't have a mandolin, or you would prefer not to have to clean your mandolin, it is perfectly reasonable to use a grater. You want to use the widest holes on your on a grater, cheese grater. We're using the very finest teeth on this mandolin, and it gives you these really beautiful, fine little julienne. Absolutely great texture, but as I said, if you don't want to go through the hassle of using a mandolin, because they can be quite a hassle, then it is perfectly reasonable to use to use a grater, because it can be a little tough to get, especially really fibrous root vegetables like a beet. It can be quite tough to do. But it's a great outcome. Like, the result is fantastic when you use a mandolin, as long as you don't mind a little bit of extra hassle. Now the apple, of course, is going to be much easier to do. So we're just going to go all the way down to the core on one side, and then we're going to basically just square it off. So we're just going to take that one side down. Once you're roughly at the core, you go to the other side, and then you do the two other sides from there. Now we're going to use the zest from this entire lemon. We're going to take the whole zest off. And remember, when you're using the zest and the juice from a lemon, you do want to zest it first, because once you've juiced it, it is much harder to get that zest off. So we just have a microplane grater here. We're going to get all of the zest off, and here you can see we're going to take just half of it for the juice. So you can use the other half in whatever you like. We're only going to use half of it for this one. You see Chef Caleb's just going to give it a little cut to make sure that more of the juice comes out. One thing about dealing with beets, everything looks like a crime scene. Those aren't cuts on his hand, that's just little bits of beet. So once you've got all that lemon in there, you want to make sure you're getting all of that juice out. And from there, you're just going to give it a good stir. You want to make sure that everything's well combined, that the lemon zest is really combined well with everything. Now's a good time to add a little bit of salt. And a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper as well. And you just want to give everything a good stir. Now, one thing about using beets is everything will change the color of the beets. There's nothing you can do about that. Fresh beets just do that. So once everything's pretty well combined, you're just going to give a little dash of the olive oil. This is just sort of to bind it a little bit, to keep it together. We actually finished off this bottle of olive oil on this recipe. So you don't need a whole lot. It's just a little bit. And then once it's all really well combined, this is ready to go. So you want to make sure everything's well mixed in there. You've got your olive oil, you've got your seasoning. Now's a great time to taste it. If it needs anything at this point, now's the time to add it. If you need to add a little bit more lemon juice, anything like that, go ahead. Honestly, at that point, it's all to your taste. So that's it. That's the whole thing. Really, really simple, as I said. Amazingly delicious. Keep it in the fridge for a little while. It will hold for a little bit, and then goes as an amazing, quite tart side dish for many delicious things. So if you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. And remember to love your food.